It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha Tzav. The question of the week is, why is it important that all that we do should be for the sake of heaven? So in this week's Torah portion, Parsha Tzav, we learn about the sacrifices brought in the temple. And the Torah tells us that when a person will bring a sacrifice to the temple, so we know that even though you brought a physical sacrifice, but the purpose of the physical sacrifice was to transform us to be a better person. So how do we become a better person? When we look at the laws of the sacrifice, we learn how we should become better and be more closer to God. So one of the laws is that the burning of the fats and the innards of the animal should be burnt on the altar. Now the mitzvah is that you burn it by day. Now what happens if it didn't get finished being burnt by day? It can be burnt on the altar all night. Now what's the idea that the mitzvah is specifically by day, and if not, you can do it all night? Because we know the night, what means night? Night means it's dark. What means that a person's life is dark? Dark means that your animal soul is leading your life, not the light, the godliness. So why do you have to burn it at night as well? Because you want to obviously burn the spiritual negativity of the night, of the animal soul, to God. But on the other hand, we see that when is the mitzvah to burn it? Not at night, by day. And the day refers to the godly soul. So why is it important to burn, to get fired up with your godly soul to God? So the Rebbe explains a powerful insight, and that's as follows. Because what happens is, many times we're trying to do something holy and something godly, and yes, the godly soul wants to do it, but then what happens is you do it, even though you're doing it for God, you're praying, you're studying in Torah and doing mitzvahs, it's all godly stuff that looks like it, but you're doing it really for selfish reasons, and the ego kicks in. Now what happens with that is, even though in theory you did the right mitzvah, you prayed and you studied, but once the ego kicks in, eventually it will totally cause you to totally veer off. So therefore the Torah is telling us, when you burn the fats and the innards, burn it by day as well, and more importantly by day. Because the biggest danger could be that you think you're doing all the right reasons, but if the ego kicks in, that will cause you to be in trouble. So make sure that everything you're doing it for the sake of heaven, and as long as you're doing it for the sake of heaven, you'll always be connected to God. So the answer to the question, why is it important to everything we should be for the sake of heaven? Because as long as we do it for the sake of God, the sake of heaven, we will always be connected to God and never veer off. This week's Torah lesson is in memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib and Shlomo Ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated for the Torah that we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information on Chabad, please see our website.